Welcome back to Satisfactory. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to finish up the primary original plan for the computer complex. I just took a pretty cool screenshot, but it's still dark out, so you should be able to get a good sense of it. There's all the sections that we've built so far. Circuit boards, AI limiters, computers, supercomputers, crystal oscillators, and high-speed connectors. We've used up all the colors that are available to us in the light switch, so these last two are going to have to be white. And that's going to be heavy modular frames and adaptive control units. So if we put in the heavy modular frame, let's see if we can get the angle we need here. Yeah, something like this. It's looking pretty good. We're going to go into blueprint mode. Obviously, our inventory is not big enough to hold everything that we need to build all of this in one shot, so we're going to have to make some stops. Hold on here. Let's put this in the plan. One of the great things about this is that you can put blueprints in your plan, so I think we want 5 more of these. Let me think for a second. 4 more. And then when it comes to the adaptive, we want 2 layers of that one, so that means 2 plus 4 is 6 times 2. 12 of these. Now, with that said, we ran out of heavy... the reinforced plate. Let's find those. Yeah. Grab a few of these. And a few of these modular or heavy modulars. All right. Now, of course, we're out of crystals. Let's just grab a handful of those. pretty straightforward here to connect these belts. And maybe we'll just connect this one. And then get back to it. Because we've got a lot of work to do today. Mostly in the connection of getting all this stuff hooked up. It's going to be a lot, but it's going to be so much easier. Oops. It's going to be so much easier because we already have all the stuff arriving down below. Obviously, we need to get some power moved around here a little bit. Let's get some power up here. And we'll switch it over to... see if we have what we need to do the light control panel. We do not. We need some AI limiters. Yeah, I could scan these boxes. Well, I was going to say I could just grab one, but we don't have any in the machine. Here we go. Light control panel. All of our lighting and all of our machines are connected. And since these are, you know, 2 levels in one blueprint, that means it's totally done. Now the fun part. Trying to find the materials we need. Now, how many machines do we put down? I need this number in order to calculate. So we put down 12 machines. So we want to calculate if we need 1 or 2 belts. And we're good with 1 belt to feed all 12 machines. The largest number here is 33.75. And just so you can know the numbers that I'm doing in my head, 33.75 per minute. Times the 12 machines, that's 405, which is less than 1 belt's capacity. So all we have to do is get 4 items up on 2 levels. I'm wondering, it's probably better to go ahead and connect it this way. Ow. Okay. So I'm breaking my own rule here. We're not checking the recipe. So we have to check the recipe. We'll just take a peek right here. Hello, Mr. Recipe. All right, modular frames, encased industrial beams, steel pipe, and concrete. So alternate recipe. This is our sorting layer right here. Or, yeah, sorting. We know we need encased beams, concrete, steel pipe. So here's two of the things we need right here. Let's just grab these. Once we figure out how we're going to get the things over there. I seem to remember having kind of a train, all of this stuff that's over here. Like this automated wiring. It's definitely going to need to get. Oh yeah, we had a little, we were burning a few of these. Sorry, I'm taking a bit of a trip down memory lane here. We were delivering these, but we had so many that we had to sink a few just to leave room. Oh, good old Liz. So multiple things come in here. And then they get shipped over here. They get split to the appropriate thing, and then the overflow gets sunk. Uh-oh, that's not doing us any good. We actually gotta have to go a level higher. And then we'll drop it back down. So we can get it moved across without clipping. kind of decided to go ahead and set this up all the way. Okay. We've got 2 of the 4. We also need encased industrial beams and modular frames. My guess, just knowing me, these things are together somewhere. Or my train is failing me. Or I haven't put them on the list yet. I might have to take a break so I can find the encased beams and modular frames. Let's see. This side. Computer complex silica. So that's the silica and crystals. Computer complex plastic. So that's the plastic and rubber. Sheets and beams. Sheets. Concrete and... Oh. You know what it is? I'm willing to bet without fully looking into it. That automated wiring joke I was making is causing the problem. That automated wiring car is supposed to have other stuff in it. Let's take a ride out here and see what's going on. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. Oh, no. We did it. Then we failed. Then we fixed it. Then we failed again. This is the one downside of having all those street lights. So my guess is one of these things that's supposed to be loading. That one's empty. This one should be loading modulars, but it's not. This one is loading stuff, and that's fine. And this one's loading sheets, which it's supposed to. But down here, this is the danger of sushi belts. Okay, so we're manufacturing modular frames right here, but we're pulling in encased beams and automated wiring from the main base. You know what? I'm starting to question if I ever hooked up modular frames. I'm starting to question if I've ever hooked up modular frames at this point. It could be that empty, the one that I said, oh yeah, it's empty. It could be that that's the one that is supposed to take on the modular frames. So I don't really see a path for modular frames to get in here. It's probably that they should be in here. I mean, if that's the case, it's not even remotely hooked up. That's okay. We have this complex right here, which is making modular frames. I'm gonna have to do a little research on my own construction. Let's see what we did here, besides making this giant cube. We made a cool circular build. This one is short on pipes, so we're not even making. Let's give you some pipes. Before I do anything drastic, I just want to make sure that I haven't forgotten something. If we have forgotten, then we'll just connect the... Oh, I might be in the danger of sushi belts all over the place here. Uh-oh. Yikes. There's no reason for concrete in this build. There's a catastrophe happening. An absolute catastrophe. We're following these modular frames around. They probably drop off here. Nope, still going. Aha. So this is the ultimate sushi belt. I had set this up where all three of these things would end up here. But the real problem is that we're sending concrete into a modular frame build that has no use for it. Right here is the problem. So relatively easy fix, just super annoying fix. So we're sushi belting. We'll see. It's mostly pipes. We're not making enough concrete all of a sudden. What we need to do is take this out. Take you out. Probably should pay more attention before I delete stuff where things are hooked up. We'll smart split this one. We'll make the go ahead needs to be pipes only. Then the right is any. So that should send half the pipes into this factory and half the pipes into this container. But it should also send all the concrete out. And now we're going to have to basically clean the... I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. So this is totally broken. What we'll do is... Ironically, we need steel pipes. All right, here's the shortcut just to get the steel pipes. You're just gonna rob stuff off this belt till we get 20 steel pipes. Then we're gonna fly up here and copy this industrial storage container. We're gonna build that here. And we're just gonna let the line clean out. Just make sure we're getting nothing but steel pipes. Looks good. I mean, while I'm here, I might as well put a little storage buffer on here so we can make sure that there's always steel pipes available. Ooh, this is off by one. It's off by one little pixel. Now the problem is that we've got concrete all throughout this system. Looks like any one place would be sufficient to drain that. So we'll just go here, pull this out. I should have done this after this, because now all we're going to do is get all these pipes from here into here. Let's speed this process up by giving it a faster belt. There we go. Now, each of those, they're getting this nice circle of steel pipes, but of course, they're full on unproductive things. This is one thing I don't like about this game is that that little piece of concrete right there is clogging, but there's no way to pick it up. Right? I can pick things up off the belt, but I can't get that one because at that angle, I am now configuring. The only way I know how to do it is to just destroy that belt and then rebuild it. That doesn't seem like it's on purpose, but maybe it is. I don't know. So basically, in order to finish this debug, we're going to have to delete this and I was really excited about this when I put it together, but at some point I hoisted concrete into this factory that has no need or desire for it. Just checking my inventory to make sure I've got space to pick up all this stuff without leaving a bunch of crates all over. Boy, we really got distracted there, didn't we? I think I'm going to make this a separate debugging video, and then we'll go back to the computer complex. Because we've got lots of machines here ready to make modular frames, but the computer complex isn't receiving any modular frames, and that's because 100% of these machines had concrete in their inputs. And concrete is not in the recipe. I think that's it. Primarily, I'm just flying around looking for any concrete. And I'm also looking for any machines that are stopped and their belts aren't moving. Man, that steel pipe factory, it is working overtime. I was just thinking about it. The steel pipes are making modular frames. They're making steel pipes, but then they're being used for modular frames and encased beams because I'm using that alternate recipe. Well, found one more. Found two more. Good grief. So, long conversation could be had on the benefits of sushi belts, right? And sushi belt's just basically a conveyor belt with multiple things on it. Instead of a... Well, you got clean belts, which is one thing. Contaminated belts, which are... That's a situation where you have things on it that you didn't plan. So you have two or more things on a belt, one or more of which you didn't plan to have on that belt. That would be what I would call a contaminated belt. And then a sushi belt is different things on a single belt on purpose. So my sushi belt was contaminated using those definitions. It was contaminated by concrete. Though technically here, it was supposed to be just a solo belt. But if you have a belt that's capable of moving 780 items per minute, but you only need like 50 items per minute from two or more different things, and you're running this conveyor belt a ridiculously long distance, the desire to do sushi belts becomes very, very tempting. So half of the pipes are going up to the factory, half of the pipes are going over to the computer complex, and all of the concrete is going over to the computer complex. I guess while we're here and the original purpose of this video is a bit busted, let's go ahead and check out our... Let's run this sushi belt back. So this is the same belt. It's running under this platform. It's being sourced by this lift. And then it's being combined from our primary storage. Half concrete, half steel pipes get merged at this point. I'm using a slower belt here to try to merge in less concrete. So you can see there's like big chunks where it's mostly pipes. This is not scientific, but at some point, I do remember making it a choice to make sure that there was more pipes going down that line than concrete. And then over here, yeah, so our steel pipes are getting belted in solo from our steel pipe factory as part of our steel production area, which is right over here. So I was worried about being too dependent on steel beams, and then I think I've made the opposite problem where now I'm too dependent on steel pipes. Yeah, these are only running at 62%. This first floor is mostly overclocked. It's running at 100%. So we're going to juice this one. And then I think I'll also... Let's check our ingot production. So yeah, we're barely using steel beams. And then it's all going over there. I mean, this thing looks like it's not getting full use. By full use, I mean overclock full use. So we could overclock this guy. My original plan was to build this steel beam or steel ingot platform further down. Right, for it to go further down this way. And then have multiple opportunities to drop in steel. But we actually have a slow belt here. Somewhere in here, there's a tiny piece of belt that needs an upgrade. And look at that, right there. Suddenly, we've got more beams than we can shake a stick at. It's only temporary, though. But to be on the safe side, we're going to upgrade all of that. All right, well now we've got a bunch more ingots that we're dealing with. All this because I wanted to build heavy modular frames. I'm tempted. Let's see, are these... Oh, okay. Yeah, these ingots are making their way in now. They're just a little bit slowed down. Wait a minute. We're backed up on this side on ingots. Oh no, that was only temporary. It's all set now. It's taking just a minor amount of time for these things to merge in. Yeah, this machine's running at 100%. Interestingly enough, this is the main bus right here that then goes up to the next level. Ooh, Mark III. I could probably upgrade that. And that's how this game gets you, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna sit down and spend an hour building a nice little factory, only to find that you're one step away from base material to figure out what's going on with the supply chain. Luckily, I don't think I have to worry about compacted coal or iron ore. $56 of it, and we've got 12 of them. Let's just assume for a moment that we can cover almost 14 of these fully overclocked. So the fact that we've got 12 of them means that one belt can actually handle all the ingots that this little steel ingot factory can handle, or output. Now, whether or not this part of the process is fully efficient, that's a whole nother question. I'm just going to delete this because we know we're not going to make this any taller. Well, these are running pretty well. 84%. Oh, 42%. That's 22%. That's terrible. A lot of the overclocked items but down below are taking up a good amount of the resources. Upgrading this center part really doesn't do me that much good, though. The real key is the main bus. And the main bus is now fully upgraded. And then these machines are cranking. And now we should see a slightly better steel pipe profile. I do have this little side pocket here, so we always have some extra. But, you know, that's not really a big deal, having these little stored. I mean, it cuts our production down for a little bit, but then once it's filled, which it'll be any second now, it's perfectly fine again. I should move those back. Yeah, that's better than it was. A lot of gaps in there. I'm gonna have to decide if we need to build like a steel pipe factory and really prime this supply chain. Whoops. I meant to have my jetpack on. Let's switch that. So I don't know. I ask myself all the time, what's better, a sushi belt or a solo belt? For the most applications, a solo belt is better. One belt, one item. No questions, no worries. The only calculation that you have to make is, do you have enough? Yeah, we're not making enough steel pipes. But my guess is that at the very least, some modular frames have made it. Oh, we just missed the train. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Still not seeing any modular frames. I'm wondering, maybe I put the modular frames on this sushi belt since we really don't need a ton of the automated wiring. Yep, that's exactly what happened. So automated wiring and encased beams, and then I'm merging in modular frames on top of that. And the problem with that, of course, is we are not burning down. We're not using the automated wiring or the encased beams at this point, and we're not sinking them, so there's no room for the modular frames to make it down the supply chain. So off camera, in between videos, I'm going to go over there and destroy some of those automated wiring and encased beams. I'm going to rehook up that sink. I think somewhere in this video, I was laughing and thinking about having that sink in place. I need to put that sink back in. Because this one is full. Yeah. It's full of the other stuff on the sushi belt. I don't know. I guess I got a moment of weakness there by using that sushi belt with 3 items. That's probably too many. I'm also running out of fuel. 3 items on a single belt is probably too many. So that was our shipping layer. Here's our sorting layer. And right here, we've got way too much stuff. It's backed up. We need to leave room for some other things. We'll destroy a few. We'll store a few. And now that that's moving, this train can drop off some of its stuff. Yes. All 3 train cars drop. Now, this one's not going to fully drop. Let's see what you still have in here. You still have a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, no. No, it's getting good. And then in this one... yeah, still a mess. Ooh, this is only a Mark IV. There's some opportunities for upgrade. And then we'll hurry up and get the stuff out of here. So I think what I'll end up doing is pulling now that we're up here in the air, it's kind of an annoyance. What we need to do is pull something along these lines, I think, is where we're headed. Or maybe not like that. Maybe like this. The sink that we currently have set up probably is destined for removal. And then we'll have automated wiring, modular frames, and encased beams, right? Sunk and sorted from this tower. And the hope would be that very soon we would start to see some modular frames in this mix. But let's look at that as a problem to solve for next video. We'll hook up all this good stuff and build out our last 2 components. Next video, due to the fact that this was a random walk, I'll go ahead and we'll make 2 Saturday videos. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.